And these are the things that I intend to get done over the next couple of days. Oh my God. That was so much harder than I thought it was gonna be, huh? Wow. Commissioning day.
You've got like a school teacher here.
Uses really big words. Really big words. So this, my friends, is one of my mate's sheds. He does combi hire for weddings and things like that. And my mate James is currently here working on his Porsche. As you can see, it is a shit day, raining, and I think we've got rain for the next week. So I'm gonna park the OKA in here, so that way I can start getting all this work done. G'day, mate.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Oh, you know,
Porsche time.
why do we do this to ourselves?
I know. Right. Here we go, back in our old combi. So let's check this thing out. Look how long the prick is. All right, now that the pop top's up, first things first is to take out the screws that are sort of holding it in at the moment. There's only a couple of screws.
It's all about the race. No turning back, too late.
Oh my God. That was so much harder than I thought it was going to be, huh? And that's just getting the old one off. The new one on is going to be the bitch.
Beating faster. No time to waste, 'cause my time is now.
Well, that has been an absolute shit fight. A lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, yeah, boom, 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 done. Take the old one out, put the new one in. I built the truck not expecting to have to pull stuff apart. It's not easy. My fingertips are killing me. James just gave me a few tools here to help with it, but even so, like so the idea is you slide this into that groove there. In some spots it's easy, in some spots it's bloody hard. So happy bloody days, it is in. So that's taken me a good part of probably about 4 hours. Pretty much the exact same design as what we came up with to start with. Small things that we had changed on this one as opposed to the other. So you'll see here's the old one. It's filthy. But the old one, that is the size of the mesh. It's pretty much like a fly screen mesh that you'd see on a house. It keeps out 99.9% of bugs. That 0.1% of bugs, that stupid midges, are the ones that this new mesh keep out here. So this is what is called micro mesh. So it's a lot smaller. So downsides of the micro mesh, it doesn't let as much breeze in, but because we've got an internal fan that pulls air, that shouldn't be an issue. So now that that's done, that is pop top tick done. The reason the pop top had to go on first is the pop top got in the way of a lot of the electricals, and I couldn't finish the electrical system until the new pop top was on. You know, to be honest, I've never really had much experience with power systems, like probably the majority of you watching this, and I've had to learn a lot. There's so many things out there that you've got to know. You're reading all these things on what works and what doesn't, and I like this, but I like that. 12 volt, 24 volt, 48 volt. What's the bloody difference? You know what? Don't know, can't tell you. Other than the fact that, yep, I'm not even gonna try to explain any of it. There's all this stuff that you see online about lithium. It's unsafe, lithium fires, lithium caravans catching on fires. That battery there is probably one of the safest batteries available on the market right now. I'm going to get a lot more information on this. I'm actually going to meet up with the guys from OzX Corp, because I believe something like this needs to be out in the market more, and you guys need to know more about it. because lithium isn't an unsafe thing. It's just unsafe sometimes the way they've been built and the way that they've been installed. So to match to this battery, we've got a 5,000 watt inverter. That's just rocked up. Here it is here. Everything is plug and play. Like, as you can see, everything is already wired up inside this box. And then everything just goes click, 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 plug, 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 done. And that is what turns that 48 volt into 12 volt. So to mate with this particular system, we are running the RedArc TVMS Rogue. This will allow us to switch everything through our mobile, similar to like any other RedArc system. Well, it is like any other RedArc system. It allows you to turn things on and off remotely. It allows you to monitor your water tanks and things like that. So we've gone with the RedArc. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. If it's on the video, it means that I've been given the thumbs up. But from what I've been told, RedArc and AusX Corp are working together to make the RedArc system be able to be, you know, sort of talk more with their system. So if you go for an AusX Corp system, the RedArc system will work and integrate in with that flawlessly. So the job today is solar panels. So the 12 volt, 200 watt solar panels, all 4 of them will be coming off the roof. Now, that's not going to be an easy feat due to the fact that you put solar panels on the roof with the intention for them never to come off. So that they're glued, screwed, pop riveted, you name it, so they don't fly off the bloody roof. These are saying 65 volt, so high voltage panels in the exact same size as the ones I had. It was a fluke and I was lucky. I'm even luckier that they are a good brand. Apparently these ones here are quite good. 4 of those that have to go on, 4 of those that have to come off, and that could potentially be my entire day. Anyway, let's get to it. Wow. Put a little bit of tension on it. So today, yes. So up until this point, Max, I've installed the RedArc system. So the battery in this system pairs up with the TVMS RedArc Rogue. So that takes 2 water tanks. We can get the sensors for those. It's running 10 different outputs. So I've wired all that in. The last couple of days, I've wired that in. I put the solar panels on. I've connected everything up. Everything's working. Mm-hmm. Now it's about getting the inverter management system-y thing. Commissioning day. Commissioning day. Woo! Commissioning with all the little bits and pieces that I didn't know what they were, and that's what you're here for.
Yes. You've got like a school teacher here, and he's here to...
That uses really big words. Really big words.
Multiply the square metre of the solar panel by the panel efficiency, and then interpret that with respect to the watts per square metre to give you an estimation.
Oh my God.
We certify the battery to UL 1973.
Myself and James have this way of working on stuff very messy. Mm-hmm. So I've tried to put everything back into the boxes. So if there's something missing, let me know and give me 10 minutes.
Isn't
it true? You spend half the day going, where's that pen? Hey. Where's that pen?
like all good R&D projects, nothing comes from a clean environment.
No, well, obviously.
Do you think it's ready? Has he done enough of a good job?
We're about to find out. We're about to find out. I'm about to put the big donger in the battery. About to
we'll see how
plug and play, baby.
Plug and play.
Hopefully there's nothing in the way.
Do you need help?
It's in. I'm in the hole. That's sick. So that's plugged in.
Yeah. So battery complete.
Now what?
Now let's go to the
system. Why have I got butterflies? Why am I scared?
Because you can smell smoke.
Yeah.
No.
Oh shit.
She's on.
You.
There we go. So you currently have...
I did a thing.
51 volts. So when
that's full.
It's only half.
What?
Half. So the battery voltage operates between 46 and 58 volts.
Oh.
To safely ship lithium, it needs
Oh,
to be shipped at
52%. Yes, gotcha. That's it.
That was so simple.
Oh, that's 12.
Mm-hmm.
We're on. Holy crap.
So easy.
You know what's hectic? You know, like you get all these boards, like we had one before, and you know what? It looked cool because there was heaps of stuff and you didn't know what was going on. The wires everywhere. It's all in there. It's all in a box.
It's super tidy.
Like that's it there. And it's got buttons on the front, everything's contained. It's just you plug that in, 3 things on the back, your solar input, a few little communication cables, and it's like done.
It's all labelled.
And if this
Labeling is a big one.
Labelling is a big one.
you know what everything bloody is, and it's just it's done.
You look a bit surprised.
Oh, well, Max, I haven't had a great run with power systems in my day. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of issues with power systems, and it's because when you've got so many different individual modules all over the place and wires going everywhere, it's just, where do you start? If, like you said, something could rattle loose, where is it?
Yes.
You know,
When you've got nuts and bolts and bolts and nuts, it can, that's where things can just start to rattle loose, and then you don't know if a wire's throwing out a code this way, everything's in that.
you know, and we have nuts and bolts too, like everyone else.
Yeah.
But you know, we go to the point of making sure that there's encapsulation on every nut, or at least every bolt, so that way the encapsulate material will prevent any weakening of that torque.
Very smart.
And I remember, I think before even talking to you guys, because I did a lot of research on the batteries, and I was watching, I was watching a video, and I think one of the standout things is that if there's any issue with this system at all, you guys you just send a new one, and it's as simple as putting it in, plugging everything back in, done.
Yeah, and look,
and then you send that back, and it's just sorted. There's
because it's not custom, it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
It's
there. It's there. It's like, oh, hang on, let's troubleshoot. No, just replace that.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait 6 weeks and go, okay, cool, we need to wait for
find
this
an electrician.
to be...
You don't need an electrician for it. You can just go, you can be in a caravan park, they send the new one, you plunk it in, you plug it all in, and it's just, that's it. You don't need an electrician. You don't have to worry about all these, you know.
Is he giving the right information there? I know Karstan.
Is that it?
He's spot on.
So Karstan has this habit, guys, and you've probably seen it before. He says things very confidently, and so when you're listening to it, you're like believing everything he says. It's not always right. That's why you're here.
Confirmed.
That is why you are here. So that is confirmed, but it's not always confirmed.
Confirmed. And there's a number of travelling families out there that I know that have got really bad power problems right now.
They do.
And if they could just take a system out, plonk one in and plug it in, life would be completely
Honestly, there were
different.
moments, and it's crazy how it's not a small thing. This is a big thing for us, but like this was eating away at us. Like the fact that it was interrupting our day, it was playing on our minds, and just to have
stressed.
we were both stressed, and we love going remote, and it was getting to a point where we were thinking we can't actually go and do that track.
Yeah.
We can't actually go out to that location.
Well, we had these ideas, so we want to do a lot of live crosses. So
Yes.
like if we are doing an epic track, super remote, we want to put a GoPro up the front, and we want to have it on live.
You
Now, for
watch,
that to
you're with
happen-
us as we're going.
For that to happen, 240 and the whole system needs to keep running so the shit doesn't turn off. What was happening, we hit a corrugated road, what would happen?
Everything turned off. Everything.
Everything would turn off.
But that was also safety for us too, because we use Starlink as well. So it's all these things, and we're very reliant on our power system. So that's why it was so important for us with all the remote travel we do. That is why we're very excited. Very excited.
So this battery, from what I've been told, one of the safest batteries out there.
Absolutely. I mean,
And what makes it this? Is it the fact that it's just so contained, or the fact that the way it's built?
So we certify the battery to UL 1973.
What? UL.
No. So there's a certification for light rail automotive transportation.
Yes.
So essentially, in order for it to pass certification, you know, there's a range of tests from impact, drop tests, cell propagation. So, you know, we know that it is the safest battery that you and your kids and your family can sleep on.
What, other batteries aren't like that? Like say like your generic 12-volt battery, I jump on, I just without naming any.
Yeah.
But you get them, you get it. There's a 200 amp hour lithium battery.
Yeah.
Are they tested to the same?
So there's a grey area. Well, I would say grey area. There's cell certification, and then there's battery pack certification. So a lot of battery manufacturers at the moment only pass based on cell manufacture. Now, there are companies that actually have pack certification, but we take it to the next level, you know, ensuring that we've got cold rolled steel, it's heavy duty.
Yeah, right.
It's designed to be outside of the living quarters, so essentially
True.
it takes away the concerns about gas and
Something I've seen on, you know, everyone sees it on Facebook, everyone talks about it, but it's just like lithium battery fires, how dangerous it is.
yeah, I mean, there definitely is a stigma, you know, around lithium.
Yeah.
Is it the battery? Is it the wiring? Is it the installation? I think
Yeah,
one
right.
thing that we can at least, you know, we're confident about is that all our connections are automotive grade,
Yeah.
so 1000 volt rated. They're designed to be plug and play, so it actually takes the guesswork out. Is it tight enough? Is it secure enough?
It's boom, clip,
You know, so
done. Yeah,
from
true,
a
as
connection,
opposed to a nut and bolt.
So from a connection perspective, and this is really where we take to the next level, we follow automotive principles. So within our connectors, there's no worry, there's no guesswork about is it tight? You know, have I done the
Yeah.
tights?
Have I left a washer on there? Yeah. Have I not put a washer on there? Yeah.
So, you know, from a pure safety perspective, you know, within this connector, there's something called arc fault detection or high voltage interlock. So, you know, if this connector is to be removed, we're already sensing that this connector is being removed from the battery, and internally the
Turns it off.
the contactors are turning it off.
Oh wow.
So, you know, servicing, you know, even from a, you know, our methodology is all about efficiency production line.
Yeah.
So, you know, when manufacturers are putting these under the chassis, it's just a quick, fast interconnection
Yeah.
between the battery and the cabling.
Hello.
What did you just test then?
We turned the air conditioner on, so it's on full, and it's pulling how many amps? 40.
So at the moment, our DC charger is pulling in 80 amps,
Yeah.
which is equivalent to your air conditioner.
Yeah.
Just saying, on full. The aircon on full.
Yeah. When before it used to surge over 100.
There you go.
It used to be over 100 amp on our last system. So now it's 40. That's hectic. And what's the prediction of the solar? Let's if we're talking in ampage. After the research you did with these panels, what sort of amps would we be getting in from the panels?
We'll have to do that calculation. No,
Oh, we haven't done that calculation?
Hold on.
Because you don't talk in amps, you talk in watts, don't
We're
you?
talking power.
Yeah, see, I talk...
But I think...
Because I'm a simple little travel person, we all talk in amps.
Give me one
For
sec.
the simple people out there,
For the simple Sallies.
doing here.
So at the moment, we're validating the solar of the truck.
Yep.
Now, solar is a big variable value. How much solar am I meant to be getting?
Well, you were just saying a lot of people ask that straight up. They're like, how much solar am I going to get? And you're saying
Yeah.
this little device here.
Yeah, so this device here is a power meter.
Yep.
Now, given a square meter, you should be able to get 1,000 watts per square meter. So if I put this on a platform, and it will give us a value. So at the moment, from a sun perspective, we're generating 200 watts per square meter.
Oh, wow.
To extrapolate that, you calculate the square meterage of your solar panel, multiply that by the efficiency. So the panels we've chosen are 20% efficient. So theoretically, we would multiply the square meter of the solar panel by the panel efficiency, and then interpret that with respect to the watts per square meter to give you an estimation.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Glad you're doing this and not me.
So we've got essentially 4 square meters of solar panel. If you multiply that by a value of 0.2, so 200 watts per square meter, times 0.2, so that's 0.8, times it by 0.22% efficient. So you will probably only be getting in about 176 watts at the moment with these conditions.
Okay. Yep. But
Yeah.
this is good to have. This little device is good to know.
Yeah, so on a perfect day when you've got full sun, you can expect to get 1,000 watts per square meter.
Yep.
So essentially what you're doing is you're timesing the wattage
Yes.
by the dimension of your square meter of your panel, then by the efficiency. So in essence, the higher efficiency of the panel the better going back into your battery. But in our case, instead of going to the battery, it goes to the loads first, so it's much more efficient again.
Right. Amazing. So this is rare. So usually it's me looking after the 2 kids, but today Karstan's dad took the 2 girls for half a day. And so I've been able to help Karstan and be involved with it all, which I've thoroughly enjoyed. And it's so nice to see that they're buggered and Zena's asleep in the car.
Yesterday, we got so much done. It was just heads down, ass up, get this system in, get it all commissioned. Now she's running like an absolute gem. I went out to After Dark Design, where if you recall, I built pretty much the whole of the inside from there. It felt like I'd never left the joint, it felt so good. Had to get a little bit of this, a bit of prime oak timber there, but you'll see here, I made a little filler board to fill above the DCX system here. And this now has the screen, the 240 input, the solar sort of system that allows me to view everything. So I just wanted to make it a little bit more user-friendly and a little bit tidier here at the front. So that's getting done. Did it have to be done? Not really, but I'm doing it anyway. So that's done. Power system in. Power system in. It's, yeah, working. We're going to give you a full rundown of this system later on down the track when we're finally hit the road. But the next job on the list is, well, fit that off properly. Then that's it. I actually feel like we've finished everything.